Hello, hello, hello. It's past midnight. Um, it's 33 past midnight. It's good to see all of you again today. Um, the subject today, it's not much. It's about the merchants in the community of TBC. I haven't been sharing with you for quite a while, since we all know that there's quite a lot of developments in this community. We are also heading for our third year TBC anniversary. I don't know how many of you are ready, but it's been a journey from March 2016 to date. To all my fellows around the globe, I'm greeting you again from the Republic of South Africa. Many of you are familiar with this face. Some, they call it with different names. The architect, the designer, the leader, I don't know which one. But thanks for anything that is valuable. Okay, and currently we have some viewers on the other side, top chat, and we are also open for questions, suggestions, and other opinions, since you know that how do we work with others, with this loving global TBC community. Yeah, on the 11th of January 2019, the merchants were now allowed to list themselves in the KCO back office. It doesn't matter from which country, because we have more than 200 countries around the globe. And of course, it looks like 87% of those countries are listed in the TBC network, database. Because as soon as there's one member in each country, then we're already there. Okay. So, secondly, I love this merchant program, or you can say merchant business. Okay. I haven't been busy like this for the past couple of months, but I have been receiving multiple calls from different people. Some, of course, are members of the Billion Coin, and some are still interested in the Billion Coin, but not members as yet. They were all inquiring about the services that we render as different merchants, of course. Though some, they did not get it clear that it's based on 50-50 deals, okay? It depends. what are you specializing on? Since many of you have noticed on the KCPO merchant location, we vary in percentages, and we may list as 100%, but within that 100%, of course, we will be conducting our businesses differently. Some will say 10%, some 20, 30, like that, 50, 60, it depends. So from my side, I render a completely different service altogether. If you love to understand exactly what I do, you can go back to the KCPO merchant location, rebrowse again, check exactly the services that I give. And then if you want to know more, there are contacts there for my website. On the description section, there are videos, there's Facebook page where I normally list my services. And there's also a website, that's www.tbcmultinet.com. It's also linked up with many things. It can also take you through to the blog. Okay. So it is not waiting for someone to come and plow or activate it. I mean, the merchant arrangement. It is waiting for us to activate it. We know there are merchants within this community. We have entrepreneurs. But the problem is that if someone does not stand up and take up the trainings and follow those who are already ahead of them, those who are already knowledgeable about TBC, then that is going to be a problem, because you won't be able to activate yourself either in Kringles or TBC or in business, because the basics are similar and there's no difference in business. But if we tend to break those principles or divert from the system of entrepreneurship or business, of course, we will tend to fall. So we have to work the way things are, because in future, many of us will be running or conducting our own businesses within the Billion Coin, of course, because if you go back to the education blog, the admin has stated clearly that it is not all about transacting or exchanging coins for cash and become a millionaire or a billionaire. But it is a question of us generating jobs. So if these basics are not applicable, you are not trained, then there's going to be a problem, because you won't understand what to do. You won't even create 5 to 10 jobs in order to help in the process of eradicating poverty. Because poverty requires committed communities, and it's a very large task. It involves a lot. So whatever TBC admin is sharing with us, I hope now many of you understand that they are preparing us for the better. What's going to happen after after poverty? We'll be sitting, enjoying what we have or what we have compiled in our wallets. No, it's not like that. It's going to be something. Projects for sure. Projects that will involve us employing people. And as soon as we employ people, are we going to be in a position to manage? Because as soon as you employ people, that means you'll be running a business. You'll be an entrepreneur by then. Though we do have entrepreneurs currently who are doing something within the TBC community. We've seen our testimonies from around the globe. Now, there is no shortcut. We have to work accordingly and follow the way things are and understand how things are done in order for us to be a part of the community that will eradicate poverty at once. Because sometimes we talk about it, we talk about poverty, and we talk about the wealth in TBC. But the question is, do we really understand what you're talking about? When we are confronted with questions, because everyone has the right to ask anything concerning the Billion Coin or Bitcoin or Ethereum or other social networks, people have the right to ask questions, and they also have the right to question everything so that they can get clarities. Okay, are we in a position to give answers accordingly? I think that one, I'm leaving it up to you to answer. Okay. Now, there is currently a program running, which is cash flow coaching training or cash flow coaching program. Some of us are conducting those programs, and of course, we don't have much who are keen to learn from those programs. Some, they're still wasting time, taking shortcuts in order to get clarities, but to this day, they are still battling because every sentence in the Billion Coin, every sentence counts. If you don't understand that sentence, and then your explanation or your story won't be complete. It's like if one works on a sum, if the beginning is wrong, then the whole answer after the calculations will be wrong, you see. So, but if you start the whole sum correctly, obviously, when you complete the sum, the answer will be 100%. But we only have few of those. As for the rest, they are still taking shortcuts. Okay. We still receive questions that are being answered 2 years ago. Some of the answers are already on the blog. So that is why most of us, including top leaders, we refer people to the blog. That's how we should learn. Without that, we can't help. But if one is keen to learn, will actually follow the code, okay, or the protocol. That's how we have all learned, many of us. So to lead people, it's not as easy as people might think, but most of the global leaders, even if they are not from the billion coin, from other ventures around the globe, successful ventures, leaders were applying things that not everyone can apply. Their way of doing things, they have a code, they have a protocol to follow in order to get things right, irrespective of the naysayers or whatever other negative people can say. But it's not an easy task, okay? And as soon as one is trained, you'll begin to understand exactly what is being said and what is being taught on how to take through communities further. Okay. So, merchants, as you can see on the headline, it says TBC merchants. Are you winning? Yes, I've noticed quite few of the merchants around. They are winning, of course. Myself, of course, I've been in the game of merchants of TBC from, wow, a while ago. Now I'm just doing bonuses, if I can put it that way. Because the admin once mentioned something about the merchants, and then we used to broadcast a lot about merchants. But when people talk about merchants, who are they looking at? Big corporations or grassroots communities? These are some of the things we were discussing and sharing. Okay. Now, there's quite a lot to be done. I've already mentioned in order for one to understand up to the merchant program, what should be done, how to go about it. Okay. Now, we have countries outside the borders of your native countries, of course, and globally we have merchants of TBC, of course, and this is how it should be approached. Okay, we will interact or liaise with others from the outside borders of our native countries on how certain things are done, but we are not doing that in order for others to carry a burden for us, but we do that in order to understand on how to lay foundations. Okay, every country differ. The way they are doing it in Cameroon, it's not the way we are doing it in the Republic of South Africa. The way they are doing it in Vietnam is not the way they are doing it in Nigeria. Okay. And we cannot say other countries are doing better than us or Nigeria is doing better than Vietnam. Those sayings. People who are saying those things, those are people who are not thinking straight, because instead of saying we have a way of doing it in our country or in our countries because we are the natives there, we understand what is required, okay? And we also understand what can work for what. TBC merchants in our native countries. Because why I'm saying every country differs, if you go to Japan, it's more of technology. And then if you go to Ghana, you cannot compare the technology in Ghana and Japan, because in Japan they are more advanced than Ghana. Though Ghana has produced most of the highly technological beings outside African borders, some they've accumulated that knowledge from the universities of Ghana, but because we understand the situation in our continent, Africa, what happened, then we can't dwell much on that, but because we understand, we have a history about that. So I'm just doing a comparison. So if something has worked for Japan, TBC merchants, it cannot work for Ghanaian TBC merchants. But they already have something in Ghana, something that will work. Doing what? Applying the same system of TBC merchants. I hope we're clear on that one. Yes. So we are currently in a building phase of this community of TBC. Last two things that I would love to share with you again. But I'll pose a question first. We should ask ourselves that when we became active in this community, we became active to serve others or to serve this mission? That's the question that we should ask ourselves. Okay. And then secondly, how often do we take responsibility in this community? I'm sending this message especially to those who are having a concern that they have been with this community for quite a while now, and nothing is kicking out. Where is the money? All these kind of things. We know about that. But even the bank where you invest your money, or insurance company, they have a way of generating that money, and you will wait and you'll follow their terms in order to get that fraction. Because at the end of the day, it won't be enough. They will have to deduct their charges and give you the remainder. That's the bank or insurance company. Okay. But every source, whether it's a networking marketing or it's a bank or a work, there is a source of generating those profits or incentives or salaries, wages, or remunerations. You know what I mean? So we must understand within the billion coin, when we say, where is the bank? Where is the money? By the way, who is going to bring that in? Or how is it going to be generated? These are some of the questions. If you can answer that one, then you'll be clear about the billion coin system. Now, merchants, we are here, and yes, I already have quite a number of leads, more than 4, not from the 11th, but somewhere a few days after it was launched. And I will be commencing quite a number of projects My deals, of course, are based on 50 to 60% fiat currency, and the remainder, if it's 60%, of course, the 40% will be based on TBC crandles. And if it's 50% fiat, it will be 50-50. The balance will be on the 50% crandles. The whole deals will vary, you see. And if there's no fiat, we can also transact. Instead of fiat, you can use BTC or Ethereum or gold. Okay, so Litecoins, those are other currencies that I can accept. Then, of course, we will follow the procedures. The deals will be tabled in writing. Okay, it won't be verbal, because merchants, they run business and they have to conduct themselves accordingly in order to balance things, and in order for others to get the same sales services that are being rendered. So lastly, now I'll say last part one. If one is interested to know on how to go about cash flowing, what is TBC, right up to the merchant programs, you have to join the cash flow program training. And it's not for free, of course. There's a once-off. It will depend who did you opt for. I'm doing cash flow coach trainings online and offline, and every week. It is no longer once, it's more than twice. Since from last year, we have seen a growth in it, and we also have merchants that we have trained, and now they understand how to go about certain things. We differ in scales, you know. And lastly, some of those merchants, okay, including myself, many of you have noticed some of the merchant videos on the products that I'm distributing, products that services that I'm rendering. I've already explained the scales. How does it work? So just to clarify something there, when I said 100%, some of the calls that I received from customers or clients through TBC merchant services or program, they were asking that can they purchase with 100% TBC? So I had to clarify that. So it's a 50-50 or 60% to 40, you know, but there is a balance at the end of the day. There's quite a number of TBC merchants around. If you are in our program, of course, you will know, because you have to follow the program, you know, that you know. If you don't, you will remain with your cranials or coins in your wallet, being frustrated, not knowing what to do. So for more info, if you want to touch base with me on the description section there at the bottom, you will see my website and Facebook. Touch base with me. We can do arrangement. I can take you through. Yeah, but there's more. We're still gonna talk because I've picked up that there is a broader picture in the whole arrangement. And thanks to the TBC admin for this wonderful arrangement. And if many don't see this opportunity, I don't know, but I'm still with TBC, and I came in this community alone. Yes, a friend introduced me into the whole program, but we are going far. And thanks from the Republic of South Africa for your time, and all those who are watching currently. Thanks again. If you want to replay this video, go on YouTube, my channel, replay it. I'll be attaching quite a number of videos that are showing my services and other products that I'm distributing. And thank you. Bye for now. Oh, I see John Murphy. How are you, John? It's good to see you. I was just about to go offline. It's good to see you, John. It's been a while. I've been held up with so many things, cash flow coach trainings, merchants currently. There's quite a lot, yeah. But I will be live streaming again tomorrow. If you can join me tomorrow, yeah, but my times are still flexible. What I'll do, I'll just do a notification early so that you can. Can we talk private, John? We can't discuss that here. Is it fine? I'm on. You can go on private. Let's discuss there. Okay. Then we'll have a lot to share. Okay. Thanks again, my fellows, for now. I'll talk to you again soon. And bye.